The journey of a lifetime is an adventure. It's the freedom to explore, to fulfill a dream, to chase an obsession, something to challenge myself, something to take myself out of my comfort zone. Hi, I'm Chandrahas Choudhury, and to me the journey of a lifetime is following the footsteps and the rail tracks of Gandhi all the way from Porbandar to Kolkata. I always think it's really nice to come see the place of someone's origins, wherever they grew up, before they were who they were, before they knew who they were going to be. When teenager Gandhi came from Rajkot, they lived in Rajkot, then he came back to Porbandar to get permission from a relative to go to England because it was a big thing for Indians at the time. That was the first great journey of Gandhi's life, from Porbandar through Rajkot up to England and then back again. As he goes further and further out in the world, goes deeper and deeper into himself, this is Sabarmati Ashram. I think Gandhi would have loved to be back here on a day like this, especially because in addition to the ashram, which is very well kept, there's something new that the city of Ahmedabad has given the ashram, which is the waterfront project. It's 8 kilometers of waterfront promenades which people can use. In Gandhi's time, you'd have to take a car or carriage to get here, but now you could just walk all the way down from the old city down to Sabarmati Ashram and get some exercise, which Gandhi would have really loved. One of the great themes of Gandhian travel, and that no Indian traveller travelling his wake can ignore, is religion. How to think in religion, across religion, between religions, and trying to stitch religions together, religious thinking together. In Ahmedabad, you have a sense of where Gandhi's inspiration for that would have come from, because the composite culture of the city is a very interesting one. The old poles have a very caste-centric Hindu worldview, but right next to them is the big tomb of Ahmad Shah and the Jama Masjid. Banaras, the site of one of Gandhiji's most interesting encounters as a traveller. This is where he arrives in 1915, shortly after he returns to India. And in 1916, this is where he gave a very famous speech in Banaras, at Banaras Hindu University, at which point he was not really that well known in India. Invited as a guest, but he gives a message very different from that of the other guests, accusing the royals and more generally the elite of India of only paying lip service to the ideals of independence, of reform. One of the things that Gandhi thought about as a traveller was how institutions grow over time and expand, or sometimes they decay and disappear. And just behind me is the former treasury of the Betiya Raj, which is now, as far as I can tell, just a large toilet. And I wonder what Gandhiji would have thought about the disappearance of the princely states and their culture, because it meant, on the one hand, an expansion of democracy and an end of the feudal Indian way of life. But on the other, I think he would have been saddened by the fact that Indians could lose touch with their own history so quickly that things which are current even 60 or 70 years ago now just lie in decay and in ruin and are just open to the elements. It's almost kind of first come, first served, whoever wants to take things over.
इतना अत्याचार अंग्रेज किया तो उनको गांधी बाबा खेदिए दिए, लाठी से खेद दिए। हम लोग गोली बारूद चलाते हैं तो कुछ नहीं होता है, अपने लिए मरते हैं खाली। गांधी बाबा देश के लिए मरे। ऐसे ही मेरे पिताजी कहे कि गांधी बाबा का सेवा करते रहना, भूखे रहना, मैंने सेवा नहीं छोड़ना।
One of the nicest things about following Gandhiji's tracks across the country is that wherever you go, there's a local record of him. And that's because he always made a point where he went to leave behind that record himself. And here in Motihari is a Gandhi museum, which even if shut, it still gives a very vivid sense of the place because on this plaque here are his words in 1917 when he resisted the order of the British administration for him to leave the district here when he'd come to help out with the cause of the indigo farmers. I just spent 15 days traveling across India from the west coast on Porbandar all the way now to the east coast of India in Kolkata, and it's really been one of the most memorable times of my life. A lot of what we know in Gandhi is in history books. In traveling in his footsteps, suddenly it all becomes real for you. The excitement of the journey, the pleasure of discovering new things, linking all the cultures of our different cities together and of trying to make a new Indian synthesis. Gandhi did it 100 years ago. I feel 100 years later I did it in some way, in a different way for myself. Gandhi had the politicians and the social reformers' view of things. Me as a novelist or a writer had my own things to learn, own things to see. But in some way, like I've certainly become a more Gandhian person after this trip.